Hey guys, I wanted to make a video for you explaining the fundamentals of muscle contractions. Very basic here, it's not going to take long to explain this, but basically what I want to go over is eccentric, concentric, and isometric parts of the muscle contractions. So for example, when you're doing a biceps curl and you're coming up in that movement, this would be considered the concentric part of the contraction. So the coming up, concentric, the going down would be the eccentric. When you're coming up, the muscle is shortening. When you're coming down, the muscle is lengthening. So this is something that I notice when people are doing a variety of movements, in particular any curling motion. I notice there's sometimes a neglect on that last eccentric part of that contraction. So say that your rep range is 8. We do a lot of the 8x8 stuff. When you're coming up from number 8 in your curls, for example, don't forget that you have to finish that eccentric. That's the second half of your rep. So you don't want to just go, okay, number 8, and then be done, put your weights down. You want to finish that number 8 all the way down. That is the second half. That's 50% of the contraction or the repetition right there. So don't forget that part in every single movement. There are some exercises that will not allow for the second half of the 8th rep. For example, skull crushers, a lot of times if you don't have a spotter, you're not able to end in that eccentric position. You will essentially have to end at number 8 in the concentric, the upward part of the rep, and then finish up, come down in an eccentric as you're lowering the weight and then stand up and be done with the movement. So another movement that I wanted to show you, displaying all 3 muscle contractions, concentric, eccentric, and isometric, is the bent over dumbbell row, which we do a lot of. I'm going to do a neutral grip, bent over dumbbell row. So I'm starting here, making sure I'm presetting my back. Don't want to have this kind of thing going on. You want to pay very close attention to what's happening with your back as you're coming down. So I'm going to find my position where I want to be. My feet are close together. This is how I like to do this movement. My head is aligned. I'm not doing this or anything like this. Just keeping a nice neutral position with my spine. Lowering here. So I'm already in eccentric. I'm going to come up into my concentric. Now I'm in this isometric hold, and I'm going to come down. I'm still isometrically contracting my back. So concentric, eccentric, concentric, eccentric. It's important that you don't go dropping on that eccentric portion of your rep. So nice and controlled, kind of fighting gravity there. So there's a lot of things happening in terms of stabilization and muscle control when you're coming down. So pay attention to that. Don't neglect your isometric, concentric, and eccentric portions of your repetitions. You'll get a much better workout. You won't cheat yourself, and you'll definitely get stronger much faster.